Welcome to the Mindful Mama podcast, where we navigate controversial topics, deep dive into life-changing stories, and engage in meaningful conversation. Join us in embracing the beauty of mindful motherhood. I'm your host, Corinne Adele. Hello and welcome back to season 2 of the Mindful Mama podcast. If you're new here, my name is Corinne. I'm the host of the Mindful Mama podcast. You guys, it feels so good to be back in my little studio recording. I have missed you guys. I decided to take a little bit of a break around the holidays just so I could be with my family. And for today's episode, I decided I kind of want to try out doing a more chill, chatty life update type of episode to see kind of how you guys respond. I feel like this is kind of throwing me back to like OG YouTuber days when all of the makeup artists would do these little like chatty get ready with me videos. I actually used to have a YouTube channel that was a makeup YouTube channel and it got hacked, which was devastating to me. So I can't even go back and like watch my tutorials because the person who took my channel deleted all of my videos and it is now like a soccer channel. And I believe they stole it because they knew I was monetized and making money off of it. And monetization takes a long time to get. And people don't want to work hard to monetize their own channel. So once you guys are done listening to this episode, I need you to give me feedback. Comment on Spotify, comment on YouTube. You can even comment over on the Mindful Mama podcast Instagram. Let me know what you think about the little chatty type videos because I can add these in a little bit more often. Man, where to start? I just feel like I have so many things to update you guys on, and I guess I will start with my grief journey. Let's see if I can get through this without crying. So a couple days before Thanksgiving, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it out. I lost a loved one. I haven't disclosed who it was, and I don't know if I will. It hasn't even been 2 months yet. It's been about a month and a half. My loved one passed November 25th. And I was able to be by their bedside before they passed. So I was there just a few minutes before they were taken off of the ventilator and everything that they were connected to keep them alive. We think they were conscious because they were responding to us, especially when we were praying over them, is when they became quite active. They did open their eyes and lift up their head and kind of look around, but obviously they weren't able to talk because they were intubated. But I got to spend the last couple of hours with them being alive, and this is really the first time that I've had to walk through grief in this like enormity, because I have miscarried. I miscarried 2 babies and that was really hard. And there's definitely grief in that for sure, but I think there's a different type of grief. Losing someone that you've known your whole life. So yeah, I'm still in it. I'm still really struggling every day. Crying most days. But I'm just really thankful that I was able to be with them in their last moments and get to say goodbye. But it was definitely, and still is, one of the hardest things I've had to go through. So that has been a roller coaster and a really big challenge for me and my family, losing this person. That's been really tough, especially mixed in with the holidays, because Thanksgiving was only a few days after that, and we were hosting, which was fine because it was my like immediate family and my family that was there. We all went together to go say goodbye. So it was just kind of like, it's just so weird and mixed and eerie to have to like go straight into the holidays after that. So that has been a challenge. Hope to share more of my grief journey in the future, maybe do like a full episode on it when I feel like I've grasped it a little bit better and maybe have some sort of something to offer to my audience to, help them with their grief, whether that be from the past, present, or in the future. So yeah, that's been really, really difficult. And I'm just really thankful that my work lined up in the way that it did in order to give me a break from filming the podcast as that was happening. So I've been able to take a good break in between last episode and this episode. Other than that, our holidays were good. I always love having my family around, but I struggle so hard with seasonal blues. I wouldn't really label it as seasonal depression because I feel like depression is just a little bit too strong of a word, because I am able to still function. I am able to get out of bed, and I know that there's definitely like a spectrum of depression, but I still just consider it like seasonal blues. So honestly, the seasonal blues mixed with grief has been like extra rough on me this year. And something I've noticed is like it's getting worse with each kid that I have. And my mom really struggled with seasonal depression. I would definitely call her seasonal depression because when I was a kid, she literally had to paint our kitchen bright yellow just to give her like a tinge of happiness in her day and to brighten up our house in such a way. So we are hoping and praying and planning on this being our last winter here in Washington State. And we are currently looking to move to the sunshine, to the beach. I'm not quite sure when I'll share details about that and where we're looking, but just know that we're looking at the beach. We're looking at the warmth. I need to be by the ocean. I need to be in the sun. I feel like I just can't be the mom that I want to be living where we live. Because yes, we have all 4 seasons, but our summers, they're great, but there's like an entire month plus where it is honestly too hot in the summer for us to even go outside and enjoy the beautiful sun and nice weather. So I just feel like we're constantly stuck in the house, even during like the good seasons. So I just need somewhere that has like a little bit better temperature year round. I know that where we're looking at, the summers are brutal, but the rest of the year is great. So I need to make sure that my makeup is not all like messed up. Let's check this out. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, and I have very, very mixed emotions about moving. I love our home so much. We've been here for 4 years and I love it. I love our house. I love where we live in our area. So it's going to be hard for me to leave this house, especially because I gave birth to both of my daughters here. Our plan right now is to keep our home and hopefully rent it out and kind of have it as almost like a safety net. If we end up hating where we move to and we ever want to come back, we'll have our house, and it's also kind of just like another source of income for us. So We'll see. It's just like really overwhelming thinking about all the things we need to do in order to possibly move at the end of the year or early next year. But we can't really begin super looking at moving until our Japan trip. So we are going to Japan end of April through early May. And we are going there because my dad is getting married in Japan. So his fiance is Chinese. She's actually from China. And they had the plan of like honeymooning in Japan. And then they were like, well, why don't we just like get married in Japan? And then my dad kind of started making his rounds and being like, do you guys want to come with us to Japan for a wedding? And all of us were down. We're like, yeah, let's go to Japan. And that will be our 2025 trip. So we finally got our passports done for all five kids, all five of us. And the amount of money I spent to get passports, 5 passports, was $800. So, yeah, if you ever plan on getting passports, make sure to save up because it is absolutely insane how much passports cost. Truly, it was shocking. As women, our bodies are constantly evolving, and Indigo Luna gets that. Their beautiful, sustainable clothing made from natural fibers is designed with you in mind. Embracing every curve and change, including the seasons of pregnancy and breastfeeding, rooted in slow fashion, Indigo Luna prioritizes ethical production and timeless designs. As a newly postpartum mother, they really helped me rediscover my confidence and style. Feel good in clothes that honor your body and the planet. Use my link in the show notes to save 10% off your order at indigoluna.com. So Japan is like the next big thing on our list. We have done a lot of like the bulk of the planning. So we will be flying into Tokyo and we're going to do Tokyo Disney as well as Disney Sea. And we'll be spending a few days in Tokyo and then we're going to take the bullet train over to Kyoto. And that's where my dad is getting married. And we'll be spending the bulk of our time over in Kyoto. So I've been doing so much research like on TikTok, watching people's videos of where to eat and what to do. And I'm so excited. The flight time is crazy though. Total round trip, it's like 23 hours. The big flight from Seattle to Tokyo and Tokyo home is 10 hours. So if you want to say a little prayer for us, 10 hours is a long time. I think the longest flight I ever did was 8 hours. And that was like in my late teens, early 20s with no kids, obviously. And we have 3 young children. So I'm not worried about myself or Aiden. Yes, sitting on a flight forever is annoying, but man, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and 1-year-old, 10 hours on a plane. I just hope it goes well. I will say my kids have been on many flights. Flo is only 1 and she's already been on 10 flights in the first year of her life. The longest flight my kids have ever done is like 5.5-ish hours to Maui. So they've done like half the flight and they did great. They always do better than I expect. I just really need to prepare with a lot of snacks and like activities and games and things for them to do. And thankfully, we will have my family there, my siblings, my dad. So we'll have a lot of help while we're on the flight and we're all kind of sitting together. So hopefully that will help. Okay, what is next? So yeah, after Japan is when we're going to start focusing on looking at moving. But we cannot move until I complete the 2 births that I have committed to. So that's another huge announcement. I am attending births this year. 2025 is the year that I begin attending births, which is so exciting. And honestly, I did not think that I was going to start attending births yet. I really felt like it was kind of this distant, like someday when I'm ready, I'll do it. You know, I'm just going to keep educating myself. I'm going to keep doing courses and research, but I'm not going to step into it yet. And I feel like it's just kind of been this fear of like, what if I'm not enough? What if I'm not what the birthing woman needs? What if she feels like, why did she hire me? It's just that fear of like a woman being like, I wish I didn't hire her, you know? And a couple of months ago when we were at church, I was prophesied over, and the word was me serving women, me caring for women, me being with women. And I was like, that's my birth work. Like, that is my birth work. But I still was like, okay, but it's like distant future. Like, this is not anytime soon, right? And then my really, really good friend, she got pregnant, and she's due near the end of the year. And she's like, Corinne, you have to be at my birth, like you need to be there. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take her birth. Of course, like, she's my good friend. I'm going to attend her birth. And then I was doing homework. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Praying. I'm like, God, you know what? Since I'm attending my friend's birth, and in my class, in my school, one requirement to like graduate and get your certificate is 3 births. Like, if I already have one planned, just bring me 2 others and bring me the right people. So somebody very near and dear to my heart texted me and asked me if we would still be living here by her due date, because she knows we're looking at moving. And she's like, I want you there. I want you to be my doula. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so honored. I'm like, okay, God, 2 down. I literally have 2 down. And I have a call with another gal, I think next week. And she sent me a message on Instagram, was like, me and my husband have been praying about it, and I really want to invite you into my birth space. And she's due in June. So if she books with me, then I'm going to have my 3 under my belt. And I don't know if I will attend more than that, but we will see. Right now, I have possibly 3 births already in the books for me that are like summer to the end of summer. And I'm really excited for that. So I decided I was going to take like a supplemental course that will be next month in February. And it is like a really intensive, hands-on 4-day course, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 4 days in a row. It's ran by a local midwife as well as a local doula. And I thought, you know what? Why not? So I'm taking that course. Again, it's going to be like super hands-on and great. And I'll be able to kind of connect with the birth community here in Spokane, get my feelers out there, talk to the other doulas or women who are training to become doulas. And I think that's really going to help my fear of like not being enough in the birth space, I guess. And yeah, so I am on month 3 of my 12-month long school that I'm a part of. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it. It's just so like in depth, and gosh, it's just like nothing I've ever heard of before when it comes to like a doula, birth keeper, future midwife course. So I'm loving that as well. So this year is like a year of really beginning to step out into my calling as a birth worker, and I am so incredibly excited for it. I just feel like God has like pushed the door open, and even though I'm terrified to walk through it, I'm going to walk through it because he's opening the door for me. He's leading me to clients already, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to do it. I guess I'm going to do it. So on top of that, I'm going to start offering like one-on-one sessions for women who want to seek advice, help. So I had a couple of ideas for that. One of them being like a build your birth plan with me, where we do like a 90-minute Zoom call. I provide a template for a birth plan, and we sit there and we just chat about your dream birth plan, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. And this will be for any woman who wants help. And I am going to be putting together a massive list of resources for those clients as well, those one-on-one coaching clients. It took me 5 years to finally find non-toxic makeup that's not only nourishing to my skin, but actually performs well. As a previous makeup artist myself, I absolutely refuse to spend my money on makeup products that do not work. Crunchi is the brand that finally converted me. They have personally banished over 10,000 ingredients that do not make the cut into their products that unfortunately is in most of the makeup we use day in and day out. I'm personally obsessed with their cream concealers and their cream blushes, And I finally started wearing lipstick again because I actually feel good about kissing my babies while wearing it. So their lip pencils are a must. Click the link in my show notes and add the code ADVOCATE10 for 10% off your first purchase with Crunchi. That's Crunchi with an I. And make sure to use my link or the code will not work. So that if they want to know more about vitamin K, I can give them lists of resources. If they want to know more about the Hep B vaccine, if they want to know about the goo on the eyes, if they want to know about delaying baths, like it is going to be a huge library specifically for my birth plan clients, as well as my doula clients, my birth keeper clients that will be hiring me. So I've been working on that for the past 2 days and I'm really excited for that. I also really have a heart for lost mamas and people who have gone through miscarriage or are currently going through miscarriages. And so I would love to offer one-on-ones for women who just want to talk to someone who gets it, who's been through loss before. And I'm hoping to put together resources for that as well. Just kind of like, again, a library of resources for miscarriage and like supplies that you might want, comfort items, a place to get jewelry made, and things to honor your baby. So I'm going to be doing that. I would also love to start taking one-on-one sessions for birth debriefs, whether that be trauma or not. So I'm currently doing a bunch of education on birth trauma. And then I'm going to kind of have like an option of other where you can kind of just book a one-on-one session with me and chat about what you want to chat about. With those sessions, I will have to approve them because if someone's wanting to talk to me about something that I don't feel like I'm educated enough on, I'm not going to take that session. So I have to build a website for that, which is crazy. So I don't know when any of this is going to be completed, but I'm actively working on it and it takes a lot of my time and energy to do so. But that is something you guys can look forward to in this upcoming year is one-on-one sessions with me. And this is just another way that I'm able to really connect with you guys because I have always been that influencer or content creator that pours into my audience. Like if you are a follower of mine, if you've sent me a DM, more than likely I've responded to you. I really like to send people voice messages. It's a lot more personal that way. It's easier for me. So most of you guys have chatted with me. Like we've chatted a lot and I just love that. And this is just going to be like a more in-depth version of that. So that is going to be amazing. And I'm just so excited to like get to see you guys face to face, even though it's like going to be over a screen and we can just chat about what you want to chat about. So I will let you guys know on the podcast, obviously on Instagram, when all of that is up and running. I have a friend who's really good at building websites, so she's going to be helping me with that. Okay. Man, I am really hoping to get some sort of background behind me going soon. It was not my plan for it to be blank like this for as long as it has been, but I ordered some portraits from a local artist here back in June. It is now January and she still has yet to get me the portraits that I ordered. So I'm kind of having to wait on her to finally get them to me before I can start doing something back here. I know it doesn't really affect those of you who are listening on like Apple or Spotify, but it really does bother me that it's just like so blank for those of you that watch on YouTube. But once those are in, I will begin to kind of decorate the space a little bit. I'm thinking of probably just doing like, I don't know, floating shelves with a couple of like decorations. I'm going to have the portraits on there that she made for me and something simple, but like something to look at, you know, so you guys aren't just looking at this blank white wall behind me. I just need something so it looks a little bit better. So hopefully you guys soon, I will get that taken care of. I think I'll just end this episode here to keep it short and sweet, just a little update. And again, you guys, please let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed this type of episode so I can make sure to do a few more here and there throughout the next couple of seasons. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. And that concludes today's episode. If you found value in this conversation or resonate with it in any way, I'd love for you to leave me a review on whatever platform you're listening in on and share about it on social media. Your support means the world. For more content like this, you can follow me at Corinne Adele on all platforms. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.